Hi guys, welcome to Cooking with the Cabinets. My name is Matt, and we are going to get started today.
Hi y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make something a little bit different for me. I'm not huge on making desserts, but we are going to make crepes. And it's pretty simple. You're going to start with just a cup of flour. Actually, make that half cup of flour because I'm only going to do a half recipe today. And we're just going to sift that through this mesh strainer to get as many lumps out of it as we can. And see, all that does is make it to where your final product is going to be a smoother consistency. Step 2, we are going to take one egg and we're going to scramble it. And a lot of people just add their eggs straight into this mix, but I find that it works better if I scramble it ahead of time and then incorporate it. Now while you're mixing all of this, go ahead and have your burner on so that pan can have some good heat to it. That's going to make your crepe time go a lot smoother if your pan is thoroughly heated. And you want to get these eggs beaten really well. And then just dump those in there. Alright, once that is in there, just go ahead and mix that until it is pretty well combined. And once that is starting to, look shaggy, and it should look pretty shaggy, you're going to move on to your next step. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You do need some salt, especially if you're going to be making something sweet. A little bit of salt will go a long way towards making your sweet things taste better. The other thing you're going to want to do is take a 1/4 cup of milk. And then I use the same measuring cup and just fill it up to half a cup of water. You may or may not need the entirety of that though. Alright, so mix your salt in. Alright. It is starting to form a really nice, easy dough. Alright, with this all set up, go ahead and slowly add your milk and water mixture. And I just add a little bit at a time. And yes, there is a reason I still have my strainer out. You're going to need it in a little bit. It's going to make your life 100 times easier. Alright. So you're just going to slowly add this. I'm actually going to add a little bit more. Until you get a smooth consistency. And you do want this to be as lump-free as possible. So get in there, be a little bit vigorous, and you do want it to be rather thin as well. Add in a little bit more. And there you go, just get in there and And depending on your flour and all sorts of other things, it may take the whole thing of liquid to get it pretty thin. And to get that lump free, it may not take all of it. Once you've got it almost completely lump free, you want some melted butter. Mine has been sitting for a few minutes so that it is not going to scramble the egg that's in there. Because nobody wants scrambled eggs in their crepes. And you want to incorporate about a tablespoon worth of melted butter into your crepe batter. Add just a little bit more of this to thin it out the rest of the way. Alright. Whenever you've got as much of your milk and water liquid as you're going to need mixed into it, go ahead and rinse out your measuring cup. You don't have to wash it all the way out, but rinse it out. And then this time we're going to set our strainer just right on top. Alright, and you're going to need a plastic spatula. It's going to make your life a lot happier. Give it a good mix really quick. And then you're just going to pour it in and let it drain. Alright, when you get down to the end of your stuff in your strainer, go ahead and use your spatula to scrape down. You want to get as much of that through as you can. And you're using the mesh strainer so it'll take out any lumps, any little bits of flour that just didn't get all the way incorporated. And it'll also ensure that your crepes are as smooth as possible. Alright, once you get that done, you're going to go ahead and rinse everything out. Alright, so your batter needs to sit for a few minutes, and I got just over 3/4 of a cup worth of batter out of that whole mixture. Should make 3 to 4 crepes. Your crepe batter needs to sit for a few minutes. It's going to help it form just a more cohesive crepe batter. And while that's going, for just one little thing, and I hate using something for just one thing, you're going to want some cream cheese. And I just put mine in a little bitty bowl that I have from my kids, and I'm using about 4 ounces for this. Alright, just wrap it back up, put it in the box. If you're like me, you use a good amount of cream cheese as it is, so that's alright. Now y'all will have noticed there was nothing sweet in the recipe for the crepe itself. That is because you can have a savory crepe filling if you want. I'm doing a sweet crepe filling, so no need. Now I just added 1 teaspoon of sugar to this 4 ounces. And we're just going to smush that together. Alright, when you got that thoroughly mixed, take just a little bit of milk, and I just add a splash, at most a capful of milk to this. And that's just going to soften it enough that it is going to spread whenever your crepe is done. It's going to look funny, but when it goes to spread, it won't really look all that funny anymore. Alright, and you can just set that aside. Your next step is going to be to cut up some strawberries. And you can start by cutting the green part off. Set it up in the middle. And then do them long way. And then I take them two at a time. And you want to make these thin little matchstick sized pieces to go into your crepe. Alright? Alright, so when you get through this, you do want to take 1/2 of a strawberry and just slice through it one way. Don't make those into matchsticks. We're going to use those as garnish later. Alright, so our pan is plenty hot. Our dough has chilled out for a little bit, just hung out. It's going to make it work a little bit better now that it's done so. And now we're going to go ahead and start. So my pan handle is hot, and I can tell that it is. So I've got something to make grabbing my handle easier. And we just pour in our batter. I might have gone a little heavy. And we're going to try to make it as round as possible. And it doesn't need to be directly over the heat, because it is thin enough. It's thin enough that it's going to cook regardless. Alright? So once that has started to cook a good bit, take your handy spatula and get up underneath it. Alright, and 1, 2, 3, flip. Alright. And so we got our flip, and we don't really want it overly dark. You want it to be cooked, but not super dark in this particular situation, okay? Alright, so once your crepe is done, take it, and you're going to slide it onto your plate. Just like so. Set that back onto the heat because you've got plenty more crepe batter. And there's your crepe. Take a little bit of your cream cheese mixture and you're going to plop it down in the middle. Don't poke a hole in the middle of your crepe with your fork because your crepe is thin. And you're just going to spread that cream cheese mixture and cover as much of that crepe with it as you can. Alright. And then alright, so once the cream cheese has been spread across, you're going to want to put a pretty liberal layer of the strawberries on there. If you don't like strawberries or you're allergic to strawberries, you can use blueberries or grapes. I've done it with blackberries. Blackberries are delicious. Even raspberries, if that is your particular type of jam. You can even use like orange marmalade or something else instead of the strawberries. But I like strawberries, my wife likes strawberries, and my kids like strawberries. And you want a pretty good layer of that. And then you're just going to roll it as tight as you can, like you're doing a pumpkin roll, almost. Alright. And we are just going to take that rolled crepe and set it to the side. Enjoy a taste of that cream cheese mixture. Take some spray. This is one of the few things that I use the spray for. Spray your pan, because a stuck crepe is not a good crepe. And then we start again. Get a good mixture of your crepe batter and go. Right, and you do want to fill these crepes as you finish making them because they are thin enough that you do risk the row of them sticking together if you don't. So take your cream cheese and spread it out again and do your strawberries one more time. You're actually going to be able to do, I'm going to do at least one more full crepe out of this batch. Alright, so when you have all of those, you're going to cut them in half and set them on your plate. So that they look nice. And then those strawberries that you saved from earlier, we're going to fan those onto your plate, if I can get hold of them. Like so. And then you're just going to take a whole, let's take this little strawberry, lop the top off, and stick it down in the middle. And there you have it. Strawberry crepes for dessert. Thanks, y'all. Have a wonderful night.